We're getting ready to begin. I want to welcome you to the press conference for a fabulous event entitled the Long Beach STEAMS After School Academy Launch. My name is Councilwoman Anissa Moore. I bring you greetings from the city of Long Beach, and we're going to begin our program because we are extremely excited to witness for the first time in the city of Long Beach to have a STEAMS Academy that will give support, that will give academic guidance, and that will provide success for the young people within our city. And making that possible today is the Darby Foundation. The Darby Foundation, in partnership with the World Youth Foundation, along with Christian Light Missionary Baptist Church and myself, we are coming together because we felt that this was a collaboration that was long overdue. And I do need to say that a couple of months ago, just in August, we had a very successful back-to-school youth success boot camp right here in this building. And we realized at that particular time that our young people were desperate for extra help and attention. And so we believed that this would be the very vehicle where we would make sure that our young people would have access to the reinforcement of their math, science, as well as literacy skills. And so we believe today that this unique community partnership is going to further enhance the academic, social, as well as personal success of our youth in the city of Long Beach. In other words, this Long Beach STEAMS Academy is going to really be the destination where success can begin for every child in the city of Long Beach. And so I'm thrilled today that we would have this opportunity to launch this very essential as well as critical program. And so it's important that we recognize the visionary of the initial project. We all know him as Chris Arceneaux, but he is an exceptional man. He is a professional golfer. He is also an educator. He is the CEO of the Darby Foundation. He is a businessman, but he has a heart for people. And so this has been a lifelong project of his. And at this time, I'd like for you to welcome him as he comes to officially begin our program today. Thank you. Chris Thompson.
I just want to say again to everybody, thank you. We'll keep it short because I know everybody's got things to do. But it's a special day. You know, several years ago when I started the Darby Foundation, I had no idea, what I was doing. But I rolled up my sleeves, started putting things together. I started going all over the place and doing this and doing that. But it's always been a dream to open up this academy. And you see what, of course, we see what LeBron James is doing. You can use your platform to help communities, or you can just talk. I'm not interested in talking. I'm rolling my sleeves up. I don't care about status, all the work I've done, the accomplishments, the trophies, the awards. They don't mean anything if we don't come back to the communities. This community, if you know the history, when I got personal phone calls from her telling me, Chris, you have no idea what's going on, and I'm listening to it on the news, and your personal friends are wiped out with Hurricane Sandy, you start saying, man, where do you go? How do they get through it? And I'm from Louisiana. I get a phone call from my family, my sister with Katrina, and then the floods that happened. I mean, what do? You start rebuilding. So this church, as speaking to Bishop, last week we had the opportunity to go to Glen Head Country Club. We brought several kids from the surrounding community. It was just beautiful. I'm about creating, just using my platform, my resources to create platforms for kids, for women, for young boys, men, doesn't matter what it is. If I'm not directly connected to someone, I'm a phone call away. I tell you, one of my buddies, Wayne has a great program we'll be sharing about tomorrow. I have resources. I can't do anything with these resources if I'm not sharing. And to benefit all these wonderful people that have talent, even in this room and outside of this room, if you have a resource, man, use it. Man, you need to connect with her, you can connect with him. That's what it's about. It's not about just flashing and talking about what you do. It's about doing action. So I'm about action. So keeping this short, the STEAMS program is going to cover just about everything. I have several individuals from the industry, from acting, media, you name it. I'm blessed today since 1995 to make all these contacts as resources and also do what I love, golf, played from a professional level to corporate, you name it, I've done it all. The main thing right now is bringing everybody in this room and individuals outside this room together. Every community is in need, and we need to have a resource center. And when I spoke to Anissa, she told me about the program. She knows what I wanted to do in Freeport and other areas. But as she said, you got to take a look at this location. So when she took me here for a tour with Marcus and everybody, I said, okay. First thing I did, I called Mother. I said, Mother, we found a place. So the first thing right now with a goal or anything, you got to get started. You got to get started. You can talk about it, you can write it, you can do this. I had all these plans to do it, but you got to get started. So today, we're getting started. Today we're doing it. We're doing the official cutting. We're doing the program to get it off. And that's what it's about. It's about getting started. You may not have all the pieces, all the parts. You're missing this, you're missing that. It's about getting started. So, again, to everybody that's here, I appreciate you. I appreciate everybody that's here. Your time is, it means a lot that you guys are here sitting in the seats and listening to us and allowing us to share this program. The STEAM program, we're going to bring a lot of individuals that are very talented. We have individuals sitting in the seats now, Pierre, tech guy, Wayne, and his family. I mean, it's just remarkable when you bring people together, how connections happen, how things happen for the community, happen for individually. So I'm excited. I can't even put it in words. Chris, come over, please. She's going to be doing the ribbon cutting later, but my daughter, I mean, she knows driving crazy, and she knows how much this means to me because the Darby Foundation, when I'm long gone, she's going to keep this thing moving, and y'all got to help her. Y'all got to help her because she can't do it by herself. But I told her, we had these conversations when she was in, Pee-wee, and all these things. Dad, we're going to do this, we're going to travel the world, we're going to do this. Well, before I even kick this program off, we get phone calls from literally North Carolina, Atlanta. We heard about what you're doing. Can you work with us to do the same thing? These are turnkey situations. The main thing, like I tell everybody here, you gotta start. You gotta start. You can have it all black and white, that's fine. You gotta start. And when you start, you'll see how everybody's gonna get behind the train. I don't need the status, I don't need this, I don't need that. I'm a very low-key guy. I gotta be out there with the high keys and doing all that stuff, but that's part of the process. Like Philadelphia, we see what's happening with the 776ers, right? Part of the process. So, we doing it. You want to say something? No. Glad I know her. My son, I would have my son at a very young age open up for me, but I wanted you to come up today because this is a special day for us too as well, because we've been talking about this for a long time. Thank you. So listen, I have nothing else to say. I'm going to be chit-chatting all night, all day, but I appreciate everyone. Thank you so much.
So stand up here because we want to acknowledge, first of all, the Christian Light Missionary Baptist Church for making this possible. And we'd like to acknowledge Deacon and Trustee Marcus Tinker, along with Trustee Diane Jenkins, if they would come forward so that we can acknowledge you on this very special occasion.
Well, good afternoon, everybody. We want to thank Chris and the Darby Foundation, Wayne, Pierre, Councilwoman Moore, and everybody that's here. We're very excited about the STEAMS Academy. It's going to be a blessing to the residency in Long Beach. It's going to be great for the children. It's going to give them the academic help that they need, that they want. It's going to open up so many other doors for them. It's going to make things so much easier on the parents. And our pastor, Bishop Desmond Melton, couldn't be here today, but he, wishes his blessings on the program. He wished he could have been here, and he wants to say, thank you, Chris, to you and the foundation for working with us, and we're looking forward to great things.
Good afternoon. I am grateful to be here this afternoon and honored to stand before you and happy that this program will be helpful for all our students that would get the help that they need, and I am just grateful to be here. Thank you.
So before you leave, I think Chris, you have a special presentation.
I actually would like to I'd like to present the church with the first seed of the program of $2,500 to kick the program off. So, when you're kicking these programs off, like I said, you got to get started. You got to get it going. So, and I'm very grateful to have the people behind me and the people that's here seeing this program get kicked off. So, you know, I can't even say another word because I know, Mother, I'm putting you on the spot. You got to come over, please, before I tear up. This woman has been with me with all my dreams, like a little kid in a candy shop, and you got to say 2 words. Okay.
And it will be a few words, but I do want to commend Chris, and I do give honor to the bishop of this house, to Deacon Tinker, and certainly to Trustee, I believe her second. Yes, and definitely our dear Councilwoman Anissa Moore. And I just want to piggyback off of something I believe Chris said, starting, but it's starting, it's continuing, and it's finishing. Between starting and finishing or completing your project is the word continuing. And I believe that this program, I am excited about the future doctors, the future lawyers, the future presidents that's going to come through this program. So yes, we congratulate, and yes, this is my son, and he's spoiled. Thank you so much.
So I present to you, Deacon and Trustee, the check for the first seed, and we appreciate you guys. You can just do a quick photo, and we'll just do it outside. I'm very grateful and very excited about this program, kicking this program off today. I really appreciate everybody. Thank you so much.
All right, so that's a great way for us to start the program, the kickoff. This is so very, very critical because we know that this program means so much to the young people as well as to their parents and guardians who are here in the community. Now we're going to hear from a resident of the community who has served faithfully as the president of the Concerned Citizens of North Park, which is our area right here within the city of Long Beach. We're going to welcome Jacquetta Odom.
Good afternoon. I think right now I would like to shout, and I'm going to shout to the Darby Foundation and to Chris. You know, it's been a long time coming, and I am so excited because I don't know how to express it in words, but I guess my feelings is telling you how excited I am about this program that I'm here today. Let's give him a hand, Lord. For the people in Long Beach. You know, I can see my children coming through the door, excited about this program. And they're going to be successful because they'll be embraced with love and they'll be on grounds where they feel comfortable and they're going to move forward. And I can go somewhere and sit in my rocking chair and say, you know what? After all your work, you finally got some lawyers, doctors, technicians, and all that's coming through. So we can't thank you enough from the Concerned Citizens of Long Beach. Thank you, Chris.
Thank you, Ms. Odom. As she said so well, we are excited. There's an excitement here in the city of Long Beach because of this Long Beach STEAM Academy. At this time, we are excited because we also have a special guest speaker who's going to address us today. We're going to ask Wayne Thompson if he would come forward. And what makes it so very important, we're honored to have him today because of the amazing skill set that he brings, not only to this community, but to the international community. Wayne Thompson is the Vice President of Telecom and Internet Management at Altice USA, which is formerly Cablevision. You may or may not know, but Mr. Thompson oversees voice engineering and operations, voice and data, expense management, vendor relationship, contract management, and circuits and capacity management for the delivery of video, voice, and data services to Altice USA customers. But more importantly, we know that he's very active in his community. He is the founder and the executive director of Strategic Opportunities Achieving Results, SOAR. SOAR is a 501c3 nonprofit organization focused on mentorship, scholarship, and educational assistance. Additionally, he is a board member of the Bethel Christian Church, BCC, and mentor for the National Association for Multi-Ethnicity in Communications. Please welcome Mr. Wayne Thompson.
Thank you so much. It's actually an honor to be here with each of you today. And you know, as an engineer, the concept and the application of STEAM, science, technology, engineering, art, and math is a daily way of life. Every single day in everything that I do, because of the function that I hold, we embrace and perform these traits at some level. So it is just an honor. So therefore, it brings me great pleasure to speak to you today about STEAM programs and its impact on people, community, and culture. And I'll touch on each of those things. But before I get started, I would like to acknowledge Ms. Anissa Moore. Thank you for all you're doing for the Long Beach residents. In his absence, I want to acknowledge your bishop of this great church, this historic church right here. I also want to acknowledge you, Ms. Tinker, and you, the trustee, and also our representative from the community. You got me fired up. So thank you for all you're doing. And furthermore, I want to acknowledge Chris Arceneaux, who has been doing this and been doing the work. It does take a lot of work to put these types of programs together. It does take time, it takes effort, it takes energy. And for all your effort, for all your energy, for all your time, you're starting to see this come to fruition. This is just the first of many. This will be the model program for how you decide to move this forward into other communities and the impact you can have, not only here in Long Beach, but throughout Long Island in general, and then throughout the entire United States. So we do thank you for all of that. We're here today to celebrate. This is a celebration, and we want to acknowledge that. It's a celebration of the Long Beach STEAM Academy. We're here to celebrate the children whose future is going to be impacted by this academy. We're here to celebrate what the Darby Foundation, in conjunction with the Long Beach community, in conjunction with this church, has done, their diligence, their effort. It's all part of the celebration, and we should not take that lightly. We should celebrate each and every one of these accomplishments, each and every one of these individuals and people and organizations who have managed to put all of this together, because this will have a long-lasting impact on the community long after we're no longer here. I am in an impact of just a word and a seed. When I was 16 years old, as a quick story, I was working construction. I grew up in Jamaica, Queens. That's where I grew up. I went to Springfield Gardens High School, which was the worst high school in all Queens, actually. I actually go back to the school very regularly today. It's no longer in Springfield in some of the work that we do. And I was on a construction site, and there was an electrician there, and he asked me, "What do you want to do after high school?" And I had no clue. I said, "I do not know." And he mentioned the word electrical engineering. And I asked him, "What is that? What do they do?" He didn't know. So what I did, I went back to school and I found my comfort, which is my science teacher, and I asked her, "What is an electrical engineer? What does an electrical engineer do?" And she taught me through it, and then what she said was, start to enter these different competitions. So I entered math competition, science competition with her help and with her guidance. And she pushed me into engineering because there was just no one in Springfield Gardens High School who were going out to go pursue an engineering degree. That's what she did. She pushed me. When I left high school, I got a scholarship. It's the Westinghouse Max Scholarship. And now, here's the funny thing. There was no such thing as a STEM program. So this is a prehistoric STEM program. This teacher also was the teacher who applied for me to go to college. Because when I came to the United States, it was me and my brother. My mother wasn't here, so I rely on her for just about everything. So she applied for me. I went to Columbia University because that's where she applied. That's the only school she put on the application because she felt I could do it. The reason I'm telling you that story is that sometimes some of us just need someone to believe in us, someone to push us, someone to be there for us, someone to stand by us, someone to encourage us when we need it. That's what our kids need. And that's what this program is able and can offer our children. Someone who's always going to be there to say, hey, you know you can do it. Hey, you know you're brighter than you think you are. Hey, math is not a bad thing. Science is not a bad thing. But it is a way that you can teach it to them. So that way they can discover other skills and gifts that they don't otherwise recognize in themselves. And that's what the hope of this program. The hope of this program is that every child in this community will be impacted by this program. And then we can model that same program and take it to another community, and another community, and another community. So that way we can truly start to impact overall communities all across Long Island. It's interesting because one of the things that a STEAM program does for you and for our children, it helps them to be creative. It helps them to develop problem-solving skills. It helps them to think critically. It helps them to become innovators, to start to build and to develop teamwork. These are all some of the traits that our children are now going to have simply because of these programs. And these are traits that are translatable, meaning they just don't develop these traits here, but they can take these traits and when they go into their job market or they start their own business, they need these traits and they can carry them along. And this is how they develop successful traits and start to believe in themselves as they move forward. With this program, our children will see a world from a different perspective. Instead of just being users of technology, they will be the innovators behind technology. Way too often our kids, they will pick up a phone, they will swipe it, they will look at programs, they'll go on the internet, they'll do all these things with technology, but no concept of what technology does, how it's made, how they themselves can get involved in the creative process or the creation of technology. We have seen the impact of technology on our lives. Majority of us have never leave our cell phone, as we hear the cell phone ringing. We never leave it behind. Most of us have a social media present. Technology has become to us as natural as oxygen. This issue is the issue for most people. The issue is they don't know. They just grab and go. They don't know what it is. One of the most phenomenal things that I have the ability to see is when an idea gets presented. So I have a team of 300 to 400 people. They're all engineers. They're all extremely smart people. And when we sit in a conference room and someone has an idea or a thought, I have the ability to see how an idea and a thought moves through the creative process. How we can then take that idea and build an infrastructure around it, build a prototype, how we move that into production, how we develop an application or a service that then you, the end user, will then use. To see that entire process and to see the collaborative nature of it is really all around what STEAM is, because all aspects, whether it's the science or the technology or the creative aspect of it, is embodied in that entire process. And just to see how these teams work and everything fits together is what makes this all works for us. Some of the best paying jobs and hard to fill jobs in the United States today are for Java, C++, back-end, front-end developers. Most of us probably don't even know what any of those words mean. Our kids are not even entering these fields. But these fields, you can walk out of college today, and simply because I do this for a living, and a big data analytics person can make $160,000, $170,000 a year in their first year. Wow. our kids are not entering these fields. So the way how we fill these jobs is that we find people overseas and bring them here to fill these positions because we don't have institution set up like this to encourage our kids to enter the technology field. And that is why this is such a phenomenal event. Because this now will introduce our kids to technology. It will introduce them to arts. It will introduce them to math. They will now start to develop themselves. So that way they become more comfortable with technology and become aware of fields and careers in technology. One of the stats I just wanted to throw out there is the U.S. Department of Education reported that the number of STEAM and STEM jobs in the United States will grow at 14% between 2010 and 2020, compared to 5% for all other jobs. That's how quickly the STEAM, STEM programs and facilities are growing. Technology jobs are growing. So why are our kids not entering some of these fields? Some of it is because of a lack of knowledge. Some of it is because of lack of access. This Long Beach after school STEAM program breaks down both of those barriers. We now have access. We now have technology. All we need now is for the kids to bring them into the program and teach them what they need to do. This program will give our children a shot to establish a foundation with science and technology, engineering, art, and math. They could be the next Bill Gates or Steve Jobs. They could be the pioneers of the next great move in technology. The after-school STEM program is a place to educate our children. Education for us is the great equalizer. I'm living proof of that, by the way. So I say that all the time. Education is the great equalizer for us. It is how our dreams become reality, and it helps us to open doors of opportunity. Nelson Mandela once said, education is the most powerful weapon which you can use to change the world. While we celebrate with Chris, with the community, with this church, the Long Beach STEAM After School Academy being open, it is up to each of us here to ensure that it lives up to its full potential. Done right, fully supported by all who have gathered here and others, this academy will have an impactful change on this community and on our children. This is not the end of the story, but the beginning of cultivating a culture and a community of innovation. Congratulations on this awesome accomplishment.
Thank you. Once again, let's just give Wayne Thompson another hand for just inspiring us this afternoon in terms of the great potential of this, indeed, this academy.
Okay.
Yes. So what I'm going to mention is one of the programs that we do, that I'm involved in, is I am involved a lot in developing and building entrepreneurs. I think that for our community to see a change, we need to develop business owners. We need to mentor them. We need to train them. We need to make sure they have access to capital. They have access to mentors. We need to make sure that they have access to the potential opportunities that are out there. So to that end, one of the events we're having tomorrow is what we call the Long Island Entrepreneurship Conference. It's going to be held at Uniondale Marriott from 9 to about 3:30. We have Damien John, who's coming in to be our keynote speaker. And most of you know Damien because of Fubu and or being on Shark Tank. And he has done tremendously well as an entrepreneur. But in addition to Damien, what we have done is we have hand-selected some of Long Island's most fastest growing entrepreneurs. And what we did a spectrum across from women entrepreneur, Black, Hispanic, Asian, and we're really putting them on a pedestal. And we're having them teach us and educate us on what they're doing in their business to see this tremendous growth. Because if we're really going to change community, we need to make sure that we have businesses, but those businesses are growing in our community, and that they're also hiring, because this is where the hiring takes place. And this is how we start to bring jobs back to our community. So this is the first time we're doing this event. What happened is, as an elder in my church, our pastor, just to give you a quick background on the genesis of this, Our pastor, who himself is an entrepreneur, he owns a plumbing supply business, it has been preaching on the making of kings and been preaching a lot on David and entrepreneurship. So we took that one seed, and we said we would invest our own money as a small church in making this happen. And that's what we did. We pulled our money together, and we decided that we're going to put something on as big as possible, because if God can drop a seed in us, all we have to do is grab hold of it, walk, take every step that we need. God will make a way out of no way, and He has done that through this entire process, and we're just so excited about what's about to happen. We have over 500 entrepreneurs who's already slated to come. We have major sponsors of the conference. I'm talking billion-dollar companies who came on board very early to support us, and I'm just thanking God for exactly what He's doing, because He has absolutely blown our minds. So thank you all.
And we congratulate you on your efforts and your leadership within the community. We are getting ready to cut the ribbon outside, but before we do that, we just want to make sure that everyone has access to information in terms of what the actual academy is all about. And we hope that you're going to share this information with family, with friends, with members of the community, because we really want to make sure that we register as many young people as possible. Our registration kicks off on Monday. This weekend we'll be out in the streets just sharing this information with all the parents that were here previously and who are really interested in the program. The program will kick off on October 15th, Monday, October 15th. So we are thrilled that we are starting. And we're not only starting, we're moving forward and progressing, because we know that this program is not only going to be successful, but as Wayne Thompson has said, this program is going to have impact. And it's really all about impact and what we do in the world. And we know and recognize that education is not only a powerful tool, but it's also a passport. And so with the skills that are gained through this Long Beach STEAM Academy, this is going to allow for young people to engage and move into the destination of success, move into different places. We know that can happen through literacy. That can happen because when you engage and you read, it takes you to places that you've never visited, places that you've never even seen, right? Because you can visualize it based on the words and the images that are on the page that are communicated via text. But we also know that this program will allow for young people to make that leap into math, into science. And we also have a portion of the program that will also be devoted to healthy living as well as healthy lifestyle in terms of engaging them in exercise. So in other words, this is a holistic program, and we're really thrilled by that. And one of the aspects of the program that's very near and dear to me is really the arts and music component. I've had the opportunity to teach at Nassau Community College for 24 years as a communications instructor, and so I will be bringing my love for public speaking. It will be a part of the curriculum, because many of our young people, for whatever reason, it's hard for them to communicate and articulate their ideas. And so that's key if we're going to push them into a successful platform. And then we'll also have an aspect of music education will also be a part of this program. And so in other words, this is an amazing program. And so we look forward to seeing this program take place. And at this time, we're going to ask if everyone would kindly join us outside for our ribbon cutting, and then this will conclude our program today. Deacon, you actually need to be in the photo.
Yeah,
You guys ready?
Right? So just go right here. Right here. Right here.
We're going to say Long Beach STEAM Academy. I know that's long, but
That's good. That's good.
all right, we are ready, and we're going to cut this as we celebrate the launch of the Long Beach STEAMS After School Academy. Everybody say Long Beach!
Long Beach!
Academy.
STEAM Academy.
Long Beach.
Long Beach.
STEAM Academy.
STEAM Academy.
Our destination
Our destination
is success.
is success.
All right.